Walker at the rim. Keyonte for three. Clarkson flaming on. A 20-6 run to close, and the Jazz stun the Warriors. It's next on POSTCAST.
You are Locked On Jazz, your daily podcast on the Utah Jazz. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Down by double digits late in a close ballgame. Jazz trailed by the largest deficit of the night to the Warriors with a little under 3 minutes to play, and then found a way to bring it back, winning it 131-128, and the amount of standouts are numerous tonight. Warriors led this game by 11 with 3 minutes left, 122-112. They had led it by as many as 12 in that, stretched it out to about a 12, I think was their biggest lead in the half, and the Jazz close it from that moment on and win it 131-128. And Ron, there are plays after plays. And I'm just going to run through them so everyone kind of has them for a minute. There's Isaiah Clarkson 3 from 30 in transition with 2:13 left. There's Isaiah Collier going coast to coast with 1:39 left after a John Collins block of Pajemski at the rim. Clarkson pulls for three after Steph misses with 1:12 left. Steph answers with a layup on the other side. Clarkson makes 2 free throws. Walker Kessler blocks Draymond Green, and with 26 seconds left, Keyonte George buries the 3 to give the Jazz the win. Walker with 2 blocks late. Keyonte with a monster 3. Keyonte hits 2 free throws clutch. John Collins hits 2 free throws clutch. Wow. There are so many big plays in this one, and a great win for the Utah Jazz, 131-128 over the Warriors.
So I know that you're going to support the three-point shots was so huge and all that kind of stuff, but I'm going to go 3 different plays out there. That it was a block by Kessler, which was huge.
Huge, 2 of them, I think.
And then the free throws that were made back-to-back there by Collins and Keyonte, and then Collins. That was, I thought, what won the ball game. Those are pressure free throws. I don't care how good of a free throw shooter you are. If you're not used to that pressure. I used to love, David, to be on the free throw line and people are booing. Because when you make it, it gets quiet in the arena. And that was my satisfaction of knocking down free throws. I'm an 84% three-point shooter. I'm a 3 free throw shooter career. But it's nothing bigger and more, you get nervous. That's the reason I asked John Collins about, those free throws here in the closing seconds.
Collins hits 2 of them. Keyonte hits 2 of them. Obviously, the bucket I think we're all going to talk about of the buckets is the 3 by Keyonte George, and we'll back it up. The 2 Jordan Clarkson ones are huge, but considering what some of the stuff Keyonte's been through, getting taken out of the lineup, some of those kind of things, Draymond Green gets blocked by Walker Kessler, and it's 126-124 and 31 seconds left. Draymond gets blocked by Walker. Isaiah Collier rebounds and pushes it ahead. And within 4 seconds, 31.4 is the block, 26.6 is the 3. I mean, they push it ahead, get it in transition, and there's no, I'm going to set up, I'm worried about this, an aggressive 3 from Keyonte on the right wing, and he buries it to make it 127-126.
Boy, that put a different situation now out there on the floor on how to win the basketball game, because now you put yourself in a position to win it. You miss that, and all of a sudden everything changes. Now you have to try to find a way to foul or hope someone misses or come up with a steal or something like that. But that 3 now gives you an excellent chance of winning the ball game.
The other one on that level, I actually think maybe the biggest shot of all happened at the 2:13 mark. Kevon Looney goes for a layup. Walker blocks it with 2:18 left. And again, Clarkson gets the rebound. Clarkson brings up in within 5 seconds. So they're pushing. I think you have to take this. You said this was a no, yes shot, right. But you're down 8 with 2:18 left. This is where the 3 is so valuable. And Jordan actually pushed it ahead to Collier. Collier again is the one who initiates this early action. Clarkson hits the 3 on a pull-up in transition and buries it, and it just changed the whole tenor because you were down 8 and the Warriors had the ball, and you're kind of out of it. You got no chance. and all of a sudden they miss, you hit the three, and you've got a chance at that point.
Yeah, you just give yourself, that's the reason that three-point shot is just so valuable now. 10-point lead is nothing because you hit a couple of threes. Now it's a different ball game, and that's the excitement, I think, of the three-point shot now. I know the teams take a lot of three-point shots, and the three-point shot is just as popular and exciting as the dunk anymore, and the Warriors took 48 of them tonight. But that making them at a crucial time gets 20,000 people on their feet.
Let's go to the same theme here for a second because Clarkson hits that three to make it a 5-point game. Podziemski comes down for a layup. John Collins makes the block. Isaiah Collier grabs the rebound. And guess what happens within 5 seconds again? Collier goes coast to coast off the rebound in 5 seconds. Gets to the rim, and now we got a 3-point game, and Steve Kerr's got a timeout with 1:39. There's a reoccurring theme here. A great defensive play late spurs on a quick transition opportunity pushed by Isaiah Collier that gets either an assist or a bucket for the rookie out of USC.
Yeah, if one of the few times the Jazz have won the ball game trailing with about 2 minutes left in the game.
We had not won a game all year trailing going to the fourth quarter, but we were tied tonight. We have the worst clutch record in the NBA coming in to tonight. We were in clutch games this year. We came in, we were 4-15. So, yes, Ron, that is one of the few come from behind wins we have had all season long.
So I'll have a good time at the gym in the morning and won't have to.
That's right.
Have the whys.
That's right. You don't have to. All right, we'll keep with this for a little bit more, but today's show is brought to you by Prize Picks. Basketball season heating up. There's no better way to get into the action than Prize Picks, the best way for your daily fantasy sports with over 10 million members. 10 billion and billions in award-winning. Prize Picks makes it easy and fun to turn your sports knowledge into real money. Here's how it works. Pick more or less on at least 2-player projections, and if you're right, you can win up to $1,000 your cash. Prize Picks even has a free pick for the big game with Patrick Mahomes. Only needs to throw 1 yard to win. Pair with one more correct pick, and you're cashing out. This week, you can look on the board, see what you think Luka's going to do against Indiana, what Jason Tatum's doing in Boston, and also take advantage of Taco Tuesday. Download the app today. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That code's LOCKEDONNBA for $50 after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. Today's show is also brought to you by the official sports book of Locked On. Super Bowl 59 is here. 1 game, 2 teams, endless possibilities, and there's no better way to get in every play. More excitement than FanDuel Sportsbook, whether it's predicting the first touchdown, calling the MVP, betting on the coin toss, or whatever it might be. FanDuel will make it there for you with live betting all game long. You can adjust your bets as the game unfolds and feel the thrill from kickoff to the final whistle. The live betting feature lets you stay involved no matter what happens on the field, and the app is easy to use and navigate. Plus, knowing that you can place a $5 bet and potentially win $200 in bonus bets for the Super Bowl, that's icing on the cake. Download the app. Head to FanDuel.com. Get started. Bet $5, and if you win, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. That's FanDuel.com. Bet with FanDuel, official partner of Super Bowl 59. This game as a whole, Ron, was the Jazz started brilliantly, very similar. Kevon Looney came in, and suddenly the game changes again. But this time the Jazz stayed in contact. Last time the Warriors got away from them. Tonight they stayed in contact.
Yeah, which is huge, especially at home. Any ball game you're playing, you just want to give yourself a chance to win, especially on the road. And you get into the fourth quarter, you want to keep it close. You give yourself a chance to win a basketball game, and the Warriors did that tonight. They gave themselves a chance to win, and especially here in the fourth quarter, and the Jazz ended up pulling it out. But to win a close basketball game, something you have never done all season long in pressure situations, was just huge. The guys having a good time in the locker room right now.
Yeah, I think I thought John Collins' comment opening up. We didn't ask John Collins about the trade deadline and stuff like that. He brought it up, the tension, the weirdness, and there was a real camaraderie in the locker room. There was a feeling, I think, in this locker room it might be the last time they were together. That, you always feel like there's a chance. Drew Eubanks and Patty Mills are already gone. 4 guys got sent out of the locker room. They closed the locker room in Golden State before the ball game, and literally 4 guys have to leave at that point. Like I'm assuming Dennis Schroeder, Kyle Anderson, Lindy Waters III, and Andrew Wiggins are at the Grand America Hotel right now, and they'll they have to go somewhere or some other hotel. But the fact is that they have to go back. They have to leave the team. They don't get to stay. I guess Dennis Schroeder theoretically could have gone to our locker room because he went to Miami and then after he came back. But we'll see whether or not we have any any role for him if that reported deal is true. But I do think that's, I think that's a hard moment for everyone. I think for the Jazz players, this is a hard time. And, I could even see when I said to John Collins, kind of like I said, hey, get a good night's sleep. We'll see you on the plane tomorrow. It was kind of my way of saying, like, try not to fret. He had a look at it. We could see him. He had a look in my eyes like, well, we'll see, right? Like, and that's how you got to feel as a player. It's a hard time.
It's not so much, and you hear so much about the Anthony Davis and Doncic Lucas trade, and if it can happen to them, it can happen to me, that type of thing. But for about a month, it's been so many rumors, and so many of these players, and Collins has been one, Kessler been one, where your names are mentioned through the media. There's talks of getting traded, and the Lakers wanted Kessler. I mean, all of that kind of stuff. Players hear that stuff.
And Sacramento, not to interrupt you, but reporters in Sacramento reported that the Jazz were so close with a John Collins deal that players and agents had informed players that the deal was going down. I have not talked to John. I will ask him if nothing happens. I will ask him if that is actually was a true report tomorrow in Phoenix. If nothing happens, I didn't want to be. I kind of have always vowed that I wouldn't talk to players about it. But it's weird. Like, I remember I was talking to Mike Conley 2 years ago on this day, and Danny Ainge walked in the locker room and said, "Excuse me," and I knew I had to leave. And Mike looked at me and was like, "We'll see ya." Like, he knew it was happening. So it's a weird day for these guys. Anything else on the game that you want to jump in, Ron? We kind of ran through the final 5 minutes. I thought that was the key. Is there anything else in this one you want to?
Not a lot, but what I'd like to see the Jazz just have better. In other words, they get off to such a good start in that first quarter. It's just to maintain a certain level of play. I mean, sometimes there's such a huge drop off that you kind of worry about. I don't know. It's just I just like to see some consistency of level play out there.
Jazz fourth quarter tonight, by the way, offensively, 13 of 18 from the field, 6 of 9 from three, 12 of 14 from the free throw line, 44 points. The Warriors scored 41.
Yeah.
Frankly, bad loss by the Warriors for a team that needs to win ball games. Yeah. To lose, get outscored 20-6 in the final minutes. That's not a great.
Are they a play-in team? Or what's going on with them? Because right now they're exactly the same record as they were last year. And, was that a better team last year or what?
There's nothing about them that's not been 500 for a long time. The question about them is if they can get to the playoffs, they really it's a hard way to live, but you only have to be one better than 500, right? You have to try to not beat Steph, Draymond, and Jimmy Butler 4 out of 7 in the playoffs. Their problem is the 82-game schedule. Yeah. But if they can get to the playoffs, the question is whether they can be a beast because you have to beat Steph. It's the same way. Like, if the Lakers can get to the playoffs, you really think someone's beating LeBron and Luka 4 out of 7 nights? Wow.
Yeah, they can make it. I think they can make it.
All right. Reliability pluses, Ron Boone.
I got them already marked.
Okay.
You want to read those off?
I will read your marks.
And I have Indiana Pacers here, too.
Because we didn't do postcast.
Right.
Oh, yeah, and Lacey needs to keep track. All right, so let's start with tonight. John Collins, 19 points. Well, it's not because of box score.
No, it's not.
I think we have to be careful about that. No. Walker Kessler. Jordan Clarkson, by the way, had 31 tonight. That's worth mentioning. Walker had 18 rebounds, 8 offensive boards for the league's leader. Isaiah Collier, 20 points and 11 assists, 9 of 18 shooting. Isaiah Collier was 9 of 13 on twos tonight. That's pretty great. That's a plus. And Keyonte George for the dagger 3, 30 minutes off the bench, 26 points, 6 assists, only 1 turnover. The two kids combined for 17 assists and 2 turnovers. By the way, guards have been torching the Warriors a little bit recently. And so those are your reliability squares for pluses for tonight. 5 of them given out. Collins, Kessler, Clarkson, Collier, George. And against Indiana, where I was not here, Scott Gerard nicely filled in for me. This will happen again coming up against the Clippers and the Blazers, by the way. Because I've just decided to play dad, if you're wondering why.
In Indiana, I had Collins as Kessler and Collier.
All right.
Question mark on Keyonte. 6 turnovers. I'd like to give him
really
one, and I'd like to leave Jordan Clarkson with 21 because I didn't like the way he's.
I agree.
scored
So
a lot of points.
I watched. That was a fun game because I got to watch it.
Yeah.
I knew the outcome, but I got to watch it. I listened to you guys in the first quarter and then watched it on the plane.
And went to sleep, huh?
Nope. I actually hung out with my bride.
Okay.
So here's why I would not give Jordan Clarkson one. On one of the key plays of the night, he's arguing a call, doesn't close out on the shooter, and allows a three that cost him the game.
Gotcha.
And Keyonte makes two passes that turn into layups and dunks the other way. And those are plays in a close game that cost you games.
Right.
And those are the ones you have to go away, get rid of.
So we got three. We got three. We got three then, right? We got Collins, Kessler, and Collier.
Yep, I agree with you on that.
Okay.
All right. That, my friends, is POSTCAST plus extra liability squares. What else you want? The man, the myth, the legend, Ron Boone. By the way, side note, I'm just going to give a little love to this guy. So if you listened to him with Scott Gerard the other night, you heard one of the great teammates of all time. Like, one, you learned that Ron lets me cook when I want to cook. And when Scotty suddenly needed a little Ron was unbelievable on that night. We should get more of that from Ron. We'll make him try to. I'll see if I can let him get more of that. But tip of the hat to this guy over here. I give him a reliability square plus every night. All right. Fun night. Hope you had a good one. See ya. We now send you to the first ever 24/7 national sports channel, Locked on NBA. And check out Locked on NBA podcast every game, every night on Locked on NBA game night. See ya.